Did you hear me? Maybe
What?
you should start. You have less time.
Gag.
Just kidding.
My name is Ivan. I am. Okay, I'm gonna do that again.
What
I am a queen. Hi, I'm Ivan. I identify as non-binary and as homosexual.
Hello everyone. I am Akira. I am from Bosnia. I'm 22. I'm a drag queen, fashion student, a Pisces, and just happy to be here. And I identify mostly as queer, but for political reasons I do identify as non-binary and homosexual. With a bit of attraction towards women, and women being trafikacikund.
And her specifically.
Her specifically, yes.
So, I mean, I started discovering my sexuality like when I was around, I don't know, like 10, 11. Like when you notice like that you don't feel the same attraction that the world tells you that you should feel, you know, like towards girls and having a family, and you're kind of like, this doesn't really seem correct, but you don't really know why, because you don't know that there is another option. And for me, this is gonna sound very cheesy, but it was when Born This Way by Gaga came out. It was literally like, that was the moment where I was like, oh wait, like there are other gay people in the world, and it's actually like something to be celebrated. And then that was the first time when I was like, oh, okay, maybe I am gay, and maybe that is okay.
For me, I guess I knew I liked boys, men, when I was a child watching, you know, Disney movies and Barbie movies. I always knew like I wanted to be her, not him. I wanted to marry him, you know, be with him. So I guess I always knew. I was never like hiding it, even when I was like 4 or 5, whatever. I knew I wanted to marry a prince, but I guess for me, what really, like, I don't know, was actually I would say bullying and homophobia, not gonna lie, that like played big part, because like, you know, our slur peder, like people knew I was peder gay before I knew.
Isn't that so fascinating?
And that is like, they knew, so I guess they told me I am that, and then I had to like ask, what is that word, what does that mean, and I was like, okay, yes, I am that, but like, is there another better word to explain who I am? And then I, you know, Google searching, and I was like, okay, yes, there is, and there's this whole community, so I guess that's how I discovered that I am that.
Yeah, but that is really crazy. Like, I also remember being bullied, you know, and not even identifying like with being gay, you know, like I think it was just kind of like I was so different from like other boys, and I don't even think that they like, you know, like knew I was gay, but they just knew I was different. And so like the first insult that they had was, you know, fag.
Yeah. And like I heard like my neighbors' parents, like the children, them call me like, you know, Akira is peder, Akira is a faggot, you know, like they told that to them, and then they would like, you know, one mom telling to her son that I'm a faggot. And yeah, so you know, I guess that's how I discovered. But I was never like ashamed of it, or like I was always a proud faggot.
Oh mama, I had imaginary girlfriends. I had, you know, I was doing the long game of like fooling the straights, or like I guess trying to like accommodate with the straights. You know, being like, no, like I am one of you, you know, I am normal. I do have a girlfriend. As a matter of fact, this is her profile. Fake profile. You know? I threw a fag at you.
A fag on a fag. I know a thing or two about that.
Fag on fag action.
Yeah.
This documentary is gonna get so like restricted.
Yeah, because of us.
In every country, like
Because of us. So yeah.
okay. Period.
Cut.
Next question. I mean, I don't know, for me, for example, it was very liberating like once I moved to Slovenia, because it was like the first time that I felt really safe to like express myself in a faggy way, you know, like in the public. And I mean, so like, you know, of course I'm gonna be talking from a little bit of a space of like a privilege, right? Because I think Ljubljana at least 10 years ago was very open, and I think still is, you know. But I think that kind of gave me the push to then start looking into these like queer-friendly spaces and queer-friendly like clubs and bars, and start going out there and start meeting people there. Because for a very long time I had this fear of like not really trying to connect with other gay people. Because I don't know, I think I was just carrying this stigma like from back from Serbia, you know, where I was trying so hard to mask my identity like completely. Like even when I accepted it, right? So I don't know, I think the best start that you can make, like once you kind of discover your sexuality, or like once you start to want to learn more about yourself and about your sexuality, is to like find these places, find these like small local places, small local communities, bars, clubs, if you're over 18, you know. Definitely don't start with the dating apps.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I know that's the easiest, and we've all done it. But zone.
Go watch Drag Race. Go watch a gay movie.
Go see a drag show, you know. Like, I'm sure there must be some local drag initiative somewhere. If there's not, start it.
Period.
You know?
My advice, I guess, something that I was really like, for me, safety and time were like keywords for my coming out, and like just starting expressing myself and living my queer life. I guess you need to be safe. You need to take care of your safety and yourself. Like, sit down with yourself and think, is it safe for me to come out here? I know we all want to live our full queer lives everywhere, but sometimes, you know, you need time.
Yeah.
Like, and just like wait a bit, you know. I know we all want it, but when the time comes, it's gonna be perfect and even better for you. Just like sometimes we cannot hurry things up, you know. Give time to yourself and to the people around you after you come out to them, because some people might need time. Like, maybe they will not understand immediately, but then they will, by time, I think, accept you.
You know what's a conspiracy that I don't believe in?
Time?
Propaganda that I'm not falling for.
Time.
That life is short, you know?
Oh God.
Life is actually very long, you know? And you don't have to do everything immediately, you know? It's no... I know that sometimes it can feel like life or death situation, because especially like when you're like at home and you have like nowhere to go, you know, that kind of is your mental prison, right? And look, sometimes it can feel like life or death, like either I live my true self or I'm gonna like suffocate. But like, yeah, like you said, you know, like you really have to, sometimes you really have to wait.
Yeah.
You know, wait for the right time and for the right circumstances, for safety to appear in your life. And sometimes, you know, safety is not granted. And yeah, life is very long. So like, and it's never too late, you know. I know so many like people who felt so ashamed because they were like 30, 40 up and they still like haven't come out or something, or they do and then they have this fear of like, how do I integrate with the community now, you know, like a life has passed me by. And it's like, girl, like 40 is the new 18, you know, fully. Once you turn 40, you're maybe at the half of your life, you know. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Knock knock. The sink is knocking. Let it in.
Well, in that case, on that note, well, yes.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ivan. I just turned 28. I am from Ljubljana, Slovenia, and I use he/him pronouns, but I'm also fine with they/them. I identify as queer. I feel like that describes me in both my gender identity and also my sexual orientation. But maybe if I would have to specify more, I'd say that I'm genderqueer and pansexual. for me, it was a long and winding road to figure out my sexuality, because I'm also transgender. So at certain points, I wasn't sure if I'm attracted to someone or if I wish I looked more like that person. And then I went through multiple coming out events, as every almost every identity in the LGBTQIA spectrum, depending on how I viewed myself at the time and how much I understood about myself. So at certain points I was a straight girl, I was a bisexual girl, I was a lesbian, I was also a gay guy, I was a bisexual guy, I was a straight guy. I was a non-binary person, only attracted to men, and then I was a non-binary person, attracted to all genders, I guess. And then at some point I just realized that gender doesn't really mean very much to me, or I don't even understand what it's meant to feel like. So my presentation is sort of how I feel that day. And also I realized that now that I feel confident in myself, that I can feel attraction towards very different people of, any gender. I guess my advice to young queer people would be, don't worry too much about labels and belonging to a certain identity, and be aware that your feelings might change, and it's good to experiment and try out different things in a safe way with people that you trust. And don't be ashamed of yourself. Whatever you're feeling and whatever you like is okay, no matter what the people around you think. Try to be strong and follow your heart.
Follow your heart. All right. Hi, I'm Vitória. My pronouns are she, her, and I label myself as queer because I really like the fluidity and not having to put myself in a box when talking about sexuality. Yeah, I always knew I was queer or that I liked girls. I remember when I was like 4 or 5, I had the biggest crush in my childhood friend, and I still know her name, but I won't say it for privacy reasons. But for me, it was a very natural thing, and I was very lucky that I have such a respectful and supporting mom, and she always allowed me to express myself in many ways. So I was a tomboy growing up, dressed like a boy, acted like a boy, and still felt very nervous when coming out to her, but it was super natural, and I think I was very lucky in that matter. I guess still, even though you are in a supportive ambient, it still feels very nervous to come out and to make peace with yourself. So I think my sexuality journey, apart from me, was nice, but within me it was a bit trickier because it took me a while to, be completely at peace and understand that nothing is wrong with me and that I'm okay the way that I am. Yeah. Yes, I would say take your time, listen to yourself, but also don't be scared of getting out of your comfort zone. Take risks, not life or death risks, but take risks, experiment. Life is too short to, be stuck in one path. You have multiple ways to live your life, to enjoy everything. And sexuality, I think, is a beautiful way to discover yourself, to explore your likes, your dislikes, who you are. So I guess for people who are coming out, take your time, don't rush it. It's a process that it's only about you, and that's the way that it should be. And for people who want to explore their sexuality, whether you are young, old, older, do it. I mean, just take a leap, and also be respectful of others as well. So just kind of like trying. Yeah.